Each of us has to face the matter, either the church is true or it is a fraud. There is no middle ground. It is the church and kingdom of God, or it is nothing. President Gordon B. Hinckley. Well, I guess it's nothing then. Welcome back to Escaping LDS. Today we're going to be diving into the 5 biggest lies and problems with the Mormon Church. Let's just get right into it. Number 5. First, second, third, fourth, or fifth vision. The LDS Church believes wholeheartedly that Joseph Smith's first vision, it is what I taught on my mission while I was in Mexico and had been learning for 19 years of my life. But let's do some digging, shall we? And if you do, you find out, which was admitted to me during seminary, which are church classes during the school hours, that there were more than one interpretation of the first vision, we'll say. The first vision is what the cult, the church, says is when Jose Smith saw God the Father and Jesus Christ appear to him in the sacred grove, Palmyra, New York, as 2 separate beings. That is all well and good. That's what I was born and raised believing, but unfortunately that is not 100% true. According to the church's own website, in addition to the first-hand account, there are also 5 descriptions of Joseph Smith's vision recorded by his contemporaries. The various accounts of the first vision tell a consistent story, though naturally they differ in emphasis and detail. Historians expect that when an individual retells an experience in multiple settings to different audiences over many years, each account will emphasize various aspects of the experience and contain unique details. Even if one of those were true, then why would you lie about the other 4? Doesn't it seem like a prophet? Does it not seem like something a prophet would do? Like, unless he was adding to the story to try to make it bulkier and seem more persuasive. It's a manipulation tactic. If you say you prayed, well, that's one thing. But bringing God appearing to you, now that's gonna get people's attention, and that is exactly what he was thinking. Number 4, the Book of Mormon translation. If you have been Mormon or know anything about Joseph Smith, you know that he translated the Book of Mormon, right? He had the golden plates that he couldn't show anyone for any reason because God. He read off the plates with a special God reading power to read the Reformed Hebrew to his colleague and pal, Oliver Cowdery. Again, that is not true. Quick note. He did, in fact, write himself in parts. Emma, his first of 33 wives, also wrote parts, and a few others have also wrote bits and pieces. Just saying. Now, back to it. Well, Jose had the Urim and Thummim. There are 2 rocks that were found when he was digging up the golden plates. Those rocks came from Mosiah and even from the brother of Jared, which, if you don't know Mosiah and the brother of Jared, or Mahonri Moriankamer, they're the literal ancestors of the Native Americans, even though it has been completely proven that the Native Americans have zero, zilch, nada, no DNA to the Middle East. They do have it with Asia, though, because Native Americans were Asian, not Egyptian and Israeli. Anyway, off that little tangent, the translation, right? Well, Senior Smith had never used the plates to translate. He never did. He actually put the seer stones, what he had lied about finding like treasures for people, all that. He put those in a hat and put the hat on his face. And somehow he translated the entire Book of Mormon that way. It had nothing to do with the plates. Now, it seems weird, right? No. Totally legit. And also, Joseph couldn't redo the Book of Lehi because God said no. But if you think about it, the Book of Nephi was probably the Book of Lehi redone through the eyes of Nephi so that it didn't seem like it was redone, that it was a different point of view. It was smart, Joseph, that was smart. Number 3, baptism. This one for me, it's just more of something that I disagree with and that I don't like about the church. It's just something I have a genuine problem with, unlike everything else, Something I have a big problem with, and that is baptism. And I'm going to kind of go into a little detail thing here, and I'll talk about it. Step 1. Identify the potential recruit. An innocent, young, 8-year-old boy or girl. Step 2. Persuade the recruit to walk into the web, a church meeting, activity, an innocent-looking get-together. Step 3. Love bombing. Everyone loves each other, but no one loves potential Mormons more than Mormons. Missionaries, relief societies, etc., youth groups are being instructed to be clingy and constantly attempt to befriend and smother the potential recruit until submission. Step 4. Sell. The recruit must be smiling, friendly, and happy people. They have to see that. They have to see a living advertisement. Invite them to come along and again and again and again and again and again until they are part of the family. Step 5. Tough love. With all the rigid rules and rituals helped to break down a person's sense of self, it made it seem like you were free to make your own choices, but in reality, you were being guided towards those decisions, and you were never having the agency for yourself. Step 6. Renouncing loved ones. Persuade your recruit to renounce family and friends, anyone who offers a reality check. The only time this is not prominent is when the church is using that kid or person to get to other people in their family, moms and dads and etc. The more isolated a person, the more likely they are to invest in a new belief system. Step 7. The introduction of core beliefs. After baptism, you begin seeing the church from the inside. You realize that everything's being changed. What the missionaries taught you or what your parents and leaders taught you was not necessarily true. So now the church can change your beliefs because they were not telling you the truth, or they were bending it to get you in the door. Step 8. Zero tolerance of criticism. Shame anyone who questions, shun anyone who leave, especially yourself. Continuing control relies on absolute obedience and members being afraid to leave. Now, where does that sound familiar? When I got my name removed from the records of the church, my bishop told me that there was no redemption for me at all. Zero. And it's just, doesn't that sound terrifying? Why do you think people don't leave? Why do I bring up the 8 steps of cult indoctrination in the church in the same paragraph? Well, because baptism is the biggest jumping stone into it. The church says that 8-year-olds is at the age of accountability, right? Which is ridiculous to me. They know now at the age of 8 that if they punch their sister, they'll get in trouble. But an 8-year-old cannot grasp the idea and the full understanding of their actions, thus leading them into a lifetime and lifestyle that is completely out of their control because they no longer have the agency to be themselves. You fell into a cookie cutter called baptism. To me, baptizing at 8 is disgusting. You lose a basic human right of agency before your life begins. Number 2, toxic culture. Now, there's a difference between culture and religion. The culture here in Utah is toxic. It is sick. It is disgusting. Why is it disgusting? Is it because of the church, or is it because of the people in the church? The answer is both. I had a good friend who remained nameless, and she had a really intense experience when she attempted to become a member of the church at the age of 8. So let me go ahead and give you that story. She had gone through the lessons. She was in the water from the waist down to be baptized. It was a great, beautiful day. The missionary was baptizing her. As she went down, a ruckus begins. She had no idea what was happening, but the people in the crowd watching the baptism began screaming and yelling at her because her skin did not become white. Is this a racist person? Yeah. But where did that come from? Well, in the Book of Mormon and throughout prophets, the mark of Cain, the son of Adam who killed his brother, was cursed with a black darkened skin as punishment. Well, that's where people believe Africans got their skin color from. But that isn't it. This comes from Laman and Lemuel, the evil brothers of Nephi. They too were cursed by God to have black skin so that everyone knew that they were wicked, evil, and vile creatures. If they were to come unto Christ again and repent, the curse would be lifted and they would regain their fair, white skin. Though Middle Easterners did not have white skin, but whatever. These teachings of race and gender and everything are the most vile things that a church could possibly and willingly and openly preach. It is in the Book of Mormon, and they jack off to that every night, so everything written in there is their fact. Number 1, the temple. This is what took me out of the Mormon church. Or the Mormon cult, I should say. This one fact is what separated me, and therein leaving the church entirely. It is simple. Now, I'm going to go ahead and flash up a couple images on screen. If you've been inside the temple, then these handshakes look very familiar to you. But the thing is, these are the most top secret and sacred rituals of the Mason cult, the Freemasons. But these are also the top secret handshakes of the LDS Church. Well, which came first? The Masons, by almost 600 years. Now, these handshakes were stolen from the Mason cult in 1840 when Joseph Smith became a Freemason, 4 years before what happens in the temple was revealed to Joseph. Now, they were not godly inspired. They were stolen. Through a couple of weird names in Adam and Eve, your own new personal name. You get a new name, by the way. It's pretty cool. You can just call me Aaron from now on. Joseph lied about this simple fact of temple worshipping. Therefore, the temple is a lie. If the temple is a lie, then the church is a lie. And I can't imagine that the Masons are too happy about their top secret handshakes, names, and signs being used. Joseph was a liar. The tokens of the priesthood and all of that are lies. Now, to end this video, I will rehash the message at the front of the video one more time for you. Each of us has to face the matter. Either the church is true, or it is not. Either it is true, or it is a fraud. There is no middle ground. It is the church and kingdom of God, or it is nothing. Well, I'm sorry to say it, Mormons, but it's nothing. So thank you guys for watching this video. I appreciate it. It was a longer video, but I wanted to get through a lot of things. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the channel. And leave comments if you guys want me to talk about anything else. And I'll see you guys in the next one. God bless.